Okay, I wanted to take just a minute to address a quick note about page order or page hierarchy. Um, you can see that these pages sit on the same level, which I showed you on my actual site, was the top level of the navigation. So if you click on pages, these are top level navigation items. It's the same on these other sites. These are all top level navigation items. But when we come to what can it do, you see that this has what are called child items, or items that fall underneath. A way to think about it is a family. This is the parent, and then this is the child that's underneath right here. So these items that are sub-items can be set up in the dialog in the back of WordPress, in the back end, when you're working with pages. And I'm going to show you how to do that. One other one to show you would be this site, because this site actually has quite a few child items from the parent top level navigation. So under About, they have these, and then they actually have other items that are children of the children or grandchildren of About. So this is a pretty extensive navigation system here. So what I want to do is show you just real quickly about that. If you look here on the back end, the first thing that you can do is, let's talk about the parent. So the parent area right here, this has no parent, so it sits on the top level. So since this is About, the corresponding About would be right here on the top level for this covenant site. So let's say I wanted to, as on this covenant site, add in mission and philosophy right here. The way I would go about doing that to create that page is I would go over here to the Add New. And then let's just say I type in mission/philosophy. And I could put some content here. What I would want to do is come over to this Attributes tab and set up this parent to be About. All right, so there's the parent. As I showed you over here, let's just pretend we're using this one as an example. Here's About, underneath mission. All right, so mission and philosophy's parent is About. The next thing that I would want to take a look at is the order. By default, WordPress sorts things in alphabetical order, and sometimes you want to make sure that pages are in a specific order. As you can see over here on this site, they are not in alphabetical order. So I manually actually numbered these to put them in the proper order. One word about numbering. What you would want to do in a situation like this is, rather than number them sequentially, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you still want them in sequence, in order. For example, 0 shows up first, 1 shows up next underneath, 2 underneath that. What's a good idea is to actually order these by using tens. So start with 0 if you know that's going to be the first item. I usually don't. I usually start with 10 as this item. So on this site, this child item, these child items right here, mission and philosophy was numbered 10, school history was 20, academics was 30, headmaster was 40, grammar school head was 50, admissions director was 60, faculty was 70, and governance was 80. Now, why did I do that? The reason I did that is, if you do it the other way, where you just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, invariably what's going to happen is you're going to need to at some point go back and add in another page, and then you'll have to reorder all of them. Because if you need to put in a new page at position 6, then old page 6 becomes page 7, old page 7 becomes page 8, and so forth. So you have to do a lot of opening of pages and reordering. Whereas if you do it in tens, that gives you a whole lot of other options in between. So if you need to add another page before this one, mission and philosophy, say I needed to put in one over here that was called about welcome, I could put that in, and I could put that at position 5, and it would show up beforehand, and I don't have to go back and reorder any of the other items. So that's just a little tip for how to order the pages. So you set that as a parent, and then you click publish. And when you do that, it'll create the page that becomes a child of about. And if you wanted a grandchild, you would just select mission philosophy as the parent page. It's that simple. There's nothing real difficult about it, and you can actually, you publish here. You can always go back and edit in this dialog here if you want to, or if you want to go back to pages and edit, you could do it here in the quick edit area, and it would let you change the parent and change the order as well. One last thing, I don't want this to show up on my site, so I can just quickly go here to delete, click OK, and the page is gone. So that's just a quick overview of page management.